Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be restoring this iPhone 5s 64GB that I picked up on eBay. You can see here that it has a cracked LCD. Now the actual glass itself isn't cracked at all, but it has suffered some abuse over the years by the looks of it. It has tons of scratches, not only on the screen itself, but also on the back. This is the most scratched up phone I've ever seen in my life. Now you can see here the touch doesn't work, so I'm going to have to hold the power and home button to power down the phone. Now I picked this up for $100 on eBay, so nice and cheap for a 5S. I thought I'd just do it up here, but you can see there's no screws in the bottom, which is already looking like a bit of a dodgy repair job here. Now if I go ahead and lift off the screen here with using a knife to get underneath the glass, and then go ahead and lift it up a little bit and go ahead and disconnect the Touch ID cable. Now the Touch ID sensor has been replaced, so Touch ID does not work. But you can see in here that there's not even the shield over the connectors for the screen, which they've obviously lost and everything, but I have one of those laying around. The phone has also come in contact with water at some point. Now I was not aware of this when I brought the phone, but the phone is still fully functional, so I'm not exactly sure what that's interfered with or anything, or how bad it was, but the sensor is red. Now I'm going to go ahead and start to swap over the parts from the old screen onto the new screen. Now you can see here this is quite an involved process, and for full detailed guides there's plenty of websites out there if you're doing this yourself, but if you just want a bit of an overview of exactly what to do and what's involved, how long it's going to take, then this video is basically what that's aimed at. Now you can see here that there is most of the screws. There was a couple missing, but everything seemed to be all right. Now this is the first screen I put onto the phone. Now, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, but basically I purchased 3 screens from one guy on eBay, and they all arrived and they all turned out to have problems. Now we're going to be talking about that later, but I brought a 4, a 6S and a 5S screen from the same guy. The 4 had the usual inverted colors problem. The 6S had very bad touch, and this iPhone 5S screen, well, you'll see in a second. So if I go ahead and finish putting in all the screws necessary to hold this together, we can go ahead and reinstall it onto the phone. Now you may have noticed there's also a gold battery in there that says 2680 milliamps. That's actually crap. It doesn't actually hold that much battery charge at all. I have a battery app on this phone, and basically it's just a standard battery that they've, well, it's probably not even a standard battery, but it's probably just a cheap rip-off of a battery, because it doesn't hold very good charge. I mean, it does get through the day, but I mean, it isn't great. But it isn't actually what it's advertised as for the storage capacity, so never buy those batteries if you see them on eBay. They may look advertising, but they aren't very good. Okay, so we can go ahead and finish up by connecting the battery back into the phone. Now this is very important. You must disconnect the battery to avoid shorting out and frying the backlight. Go ahead and plug the Touch ID cable in, and you can see here the screen just appears kind of faded, and then when you boot in you can see that there's lines everywhere. And I'm not sure if the cable got damaged during shipping or anything, but you can see here this screen is actually stuffed. The touch works, but the screen is horrible and has lines and everything everywhere, and it's unusable. So I ended up getting a refund on this screen, on all 3 screens I purchased from this guy, and I sent them back. So a couple of weeks later I purchased this screen. This is from the person I usually buy my eBay parts off. Now I have had one minor issue with a screen I bought off of him, which was for one of the 5Cs. It had bad touch. Anyway, so we're going to be plugging this screen in here, so we can go ahead and connect all of the cables up. So I've skipped the whole part of putting everything back in because, well, you don't need to see it twice. You can see here we've got a new plate to go over the connectors to stop them being unplugged. Go ahead and reconnect the battery again, and then we can connect our Touch ID sensor, which seems to be the hardest part of an iPhone repair, is actually just getting the Touch ID cable plugged in. Okay, so we can now go ahead and seat the screen down into the phone housing here. Make sure it all clicks in. Now I have purchased some screws, but they haven't arrived yet, so we'll put those in at a later date. If I go ahead and plug it into the charger here, let it charge up. You can see this screen is fully functional. There's no lines or anything like that, and it is fully working. Now this is, like I said, a 64GB iPhone 5S running iOS 10.3.2. It is a little worse for wear, but it is functional. The only problem is the vibration motor doesn't work. Now it has come in slight contact with water at some point during its life. It is fully functional and works fine. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time. Another one of my great videos.